Meanwhile, in a side room... Aurelia? Did you find it? They've kept me locked up here for an awful while now. What are they doing out there? Still no police. It's nice to have some time to think, but I'm getting kind of nervous here. Whoa, what the? Still doing fine? Lilian, this thing's a serious jump scare. Well, get used to it. It's the easiest way to keep in contact with you. Literal mind. That's a casual thing to forget. I almost forgot that Lilian had the power to stop time. It was a real shocker back then. Magic being real and all. It's been a while since I've seen you pulling this. You figure out how to do anything more useful with it? Not really. There's probably no way to interact with the real world. So it really only gives you time to think or have a nice talk with the second person. While time is suspended, you're able to communicate with another. But you can't move or anything, so at best it can be called instant telepathy. Which is something, but not that much. I never figured out another way to activate it either. The silly pendant only ever works when it feels like it. For some reason its power only works when there is a mystery afoot, right? Sadly, questions out of the exam aren't good enough mysteries for this thing. You were planning to cheat with it. Why am I not surprised? Now isn't the time to worry about this thing. I take it you got some news. You can say that. Things have gotten weird. Seems like you're going to get charged. Well, no surprises there. They didn't even ask for my side. No, the police aren't here yet. Why not? This place isn't that remote. Do you remember this girl? That's the one that helped the manager during the auction. Yeah, Susan Holden. She started acting irrationally, and she's out for your blood. I just shot her mother. Can hardly blame her for that. Yeah, but she wants to make sure you don't get away. So she hasn't allowed anyone to leave. The elevator is locked. Huh? The heck's the plan, then? The plan is to hold a trial. Right here, right now. You're joking. It seems your ability to spot jokes still isn't as good as mine. You won't mind clarifying a few things for me then? Because that just gave rise to a trillion questions. That's why I'm here for the interview. First question. How come the cops still have no idea what's going on? There's like at least 50 people here. Somebody must have tried calling them. The answer to that is pretty obvious. There's no reception up here for some reason. So by locking the elevator, there's no way to contact anyone outside. And there's no way to just force it open. Only she knows how to unlock it. It's not just a switch. Okay, sounds like she really knows how to force that trial. Except there's no way that's legal. What does she expect to get out of that? We'll get a trial before the police is even at the scene. Outside an actual courtroom. This is going to be declared a mistrial no matter what. And normally you would be right, but it sounded like they're planning to use some loopholes. What loopholes could there possibly be? They're actually planning to hold a civil trial. You weren't kidding. This is getting weirder by the minute. You're right that holding a criminal trial would hardly be legal here. That already falls with no ability. Fails with no ability to even let the chief prosecutor know. A civil trial is different. The prosecutor's office doesn't have to be involved there. But you can't charge someone with murder in a civil trial. Yeah, murder can only be prosecuted by the state in a criminal trial. That won't be the charge here. Instead, there is going to be a wrongful death lawsuit. Elaborate. It's basically the civil equivalent of a murder charge. Person is killed unlawfully. Close family members are allowed to sue for compensation. I guess I figured there's something like that. On the surface, it's very similar to a murder trial. There are only two differences. One's good for us, one is not. You know me, give me the good news first. Since it's it's only a civil case, you only have to pay up if you lose. No reason to worry about jail. Well, you'll still have to worry about it later if a criminal trial happens. That's your good news. Could I claim double jeopardy if they sue me after this? You should be smart enough to figure that's not how it works. Which leads to the bad news. Since it's not a criminal prosecution, the burden of proof is different. Oh, great. You've heard the phrase beyond a reasonable doubt, right? That high standard does not apply in a civil case. There's definitely enough here to read that standard, so great to hear it's lower. The plaintiff only has to prove it's more likely than not the defendant is guilty. Alright then, so I'm screwed. Let's be real though, I kind of deserve all that coming my way. Do not even think about throwing in the towel. Whatever punishment you deserve, you're not a murderer. I am the one who shot her. So, even if that's true, it doesn't make you one if it was self-defense. You've only got my word for that, though. Who believe that? I believe it. Yeah, but that's only because of your absurd intuition. If it wasn't for that, there's no way you wouldn't doubt it. It's fine, Lilian. I'll handle this myself. You don't get to do that. One of my best friends is on trial. You think I need to use my intuition to believe in her? Oh, Lilian. I get it. You're feeling guilty for some reason. So, allow me to believe in you, to prove you're not. If I don't, there'll be nobody else left to do it. Not even yourself. Anyone deserves at least one person to be on their side. Okay, then help me, if you can. Would you look at that? It's my turn. If you can literally slap my soul, maybe you can figure out a way to resolve this. There's one last thing that might work in our favor. The civil trial is obviously extremely rushed. There's only so much you can prepare in a couple hours. I see. I'm decided to make sure the evidence is airtight. Not like we have any evidence to fight back with. Leave that to me. Well, you're kind of stuck there, so you have no choice. With Lilian, there's a decent chance she'll pick up the relevant evidence by accident. Okay, scrape together what you can. I'll wait for your intel. And just you wait. You'll have the finest pieces of evidence by the time this trial starts. I'd considered it bad luck that Lilian showed up today. Now, I feel ashamed for that. I'm lucky to have someone like her as a friend. Oh god. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Can't believe I spoke to her like that. Oh. Oh, it's pounding. Keep her cool, Lilian. Have confidence. Think about what Claire would do. What was my plan again? Crime scene. Yes. Check the crime scene. Go, go, go. Oh, I love her. I'm rooting for them so much. We can now see things from Aurelia's perspective. My friend and fellow queen of crime. She's up to no good right now. What is she hiding? And the independent. Old keepsake. That's the power to stop time when I'm investigating a mystery. Hell yeah. Oh, I don't think you're allowed to be here, madam. Oh, it's that guard. I should be able to handle him. You don't get to tell me where to be. This is a crime scene. Your hair is a crime scene. Let's be smarter than that. This man is easily impressed by authority. That will sway him. You're right, and a crime scene is where I belong. I'm not sure I follow. I happen to be a detective. Exactly the kind of person you need here. It only counts if I'm sometimes doing it as a hobby. No, with all due respect, madam, I saw you coming here together with the lady that brought a gun. So, there's a decent chance you've got to, excuse yourself from this one. And we also don't really need another detective. Another one? The man who's working on the body right now. I'm really just here for the rule of two. What do you mean, there's someone else? Wait, there's actually someone there. Oh? Who this? I didn't sense her presence at all. Was she even moving? Well, I can remove this unneeded interference already. She's bound to contaminate the scene. Her presence is objectively bad. Objectively? Well, what am I supposed to do? As I said, rule of two. There's always got to be two people here. So nobody has a chance to tamper with things. Yay for lazy excuses. What a bother. We'll have to wait until someone else comes by then. Sorry, but what even gives you the right to decide this? Anyway, it won't take long before they figure out how to get rid of me. I better use this chance to scout for as many clues as I can. Hi, Zoardo. Concerningly abnormal. What is? My necklace? I would appreciate if you kept that away from me. Begone, demon. Begone, demon. My mistake. It should have been predictable that wouldn't make you stop. This woman says it's power somehow? It'd be fun to stop time and mess with her. Nah, she'd probably be too shocked to tell me anything then. Aww. Who are you? One question. No. I'd have refusal. Then put a little bit of more pressure behind it. You say you're a detective. I don't think you can be with the police. The one that's trapping us here seems very against getting police involved. You don't have to be with the police to be a detective nowadays. Given how you introduced yourself, you could have figured that. Well, if I don't have the authority to be here, then neither do you. A terrible thesis. I'm objectively allowed to conduct investigations, unlike you. Probably never even heard about Alethea. What's that? Adequate attempt. You act shocked, trying to get me to elaborate. I have no reason to spell it out for you. Give me something. My friend got arrested. For objectively good reasons. Your story is full of holes. That can't be right. She got her holes filled up just yesterday. Context. Dentist visit. Thank you. Please, I deserve at least some idea what's going on. Emotional appeals won't make me compromise my judgment. Just one thing. Any bit of info? No. Continual pestering won't sway me either. She might be in trouble. Get a good read on her. Are you? TV looks older than me. What if it even works anymore? Looking at the guard, I won't get to try. Well, I prefer online streams anyway. I feel like I should start adding some evidence, though. Yeah, let's have some entertainment. Ah. Oh, God. Evidence, okay. That vent is kind of suspicious. Though it's too small for anyone to fit through. This... Curtains cover all the windows. Knows what they might hide. Right, time to undo them. Nothing behind them. Just huge glass panes. Door. Door to the room. On the looks of it, this is the only viable entrance. The door frame is damaged near the lock. Looks like it had to be broken open. Let's make this a... dare I say it? A locked room mystery? That can't be good. Of course, the answer is straightforward. Obviously, it wasn't really who locked the door. It's been must be the victim who came in after. Something about that feels wrong to me, though. Could have just called for help. Instead, she'd locked the door and grabbed a knife. It was not the actions of someone confronting a burglar in their home. You're definitely going into evidence. Heck yeah. Right, there's something else I almost forgot. Just outside this door, there are a couple red drops in the hallway. Faint blood trail between the study and the main hall. That'll erase some eyebrows, right? Blood trail? Dear genius, are you just going to keep making noise? What kind of person comments loudly on everything? Oh, could be I'm disrupting your focus. My bad, I had so little info that I needed to think aloud. Well, stop your interference. My tools are very sensitive. Let's make a deal. You let me investigate the body and I'll keep quiet. I can't have you do that. How about this? I'll give you a piece of evidence. Just one. It'll barely tell me anything. Here comes the creed. Fine. One piece of evidence and the current autopsy report. I should provide you with acceptable data about the body. There's an autopsy report? How? Naturally, no proper autopsy took place yet. There wasn't enough time for that. Still, I am a doctor with state-of-the-art technology. I can handle doing a bit of a preliminary analysis. That's probably the biggest concession I can hope for just by being annoying. Got yourself a deal, colleague? Don't think your haphazard methods put you on the same level as mine. I simply do what's necessary to ensure an optimal investigation. As do I. Just take it. Oh, that looks like a sharp knife. Is that found around here? It was lying near the victim, as was its sheath. It's a visual match with a knife that was about to be auctioned off. The likely hypothesis is that the auctioneer still carried it. Did you check the prints? I only agreed to showing you this. More thorough analysis would objectively take too long. Better than nothing. And the autopsy? 1 second. He's fiddling with some gadget. There are several devices arranged near the body. Are those all here? Here, a fresh copy. Amazing! The power of science! Saying the praise for something better than a portable printer. Let's see. One bullet wound to the chest. Makes sense. How do you like the cause of death? That seems kind of vague and inconclusive. Everything else would be inaccurate by current observations. We humans are easily swayed to accept things as fact that we simply don't actually know. Coroners these days think they can just rely on witness testimony to narrow the time of death. Subjective assumptions are worthless. We should only make direct observations on the body. I think I closed in on her pet peeve. Good to know. I can't see how this can be good enough for a courtroom. That's correct. In its current state, this report would not hold in a murder trial. Well, there would be room to cast reasonable doubt, at least. It would be objectively true. Blame Miss Holden for the rushed job. She forced the schedule. That said, it's plenty for a civil trial. A small preponderance of evidence is perfectly sufficient for that. Not sure how to feel about it, but the law is the law. Speaking of, shouldn't you hurry back? Eh? The trial is scheduled to begin right about now. Already? Take a moment to think. I'm sure I've seen everything relevant in this room. Nothing else has been added to the court record. Alright, no reason to panic. I still have a plan, I think. Sure, I didn't really have time to check anything in depth. Got the impression the other side didn't either. There's bound to be some hole to point out and stall with. I'll probably have to rely on Aurelia for that. There's no way anyone could hold a candle to her at full strength. Can keep her from sabotaging herself, she'll find a way to handle this. Back to Aurelia. We got a judge? Court is now in session with the trial of Holden v. Chase. Before we begin, allow me to explain a few things. I'm a judge that happened to be present in the audience today. I certainly did not come here expecting work. By denying us exit, Miss Holden left me little choice but to go along with her request. Do not condone her actions, and she will likely face consequences after this is all over. Would you like to explain why she thinks this is necessary? Surely it would be more reasonable to await a proper police investigation. Now, how should I put this best? The last tenant of this place died 5 years ago. What happened to him? Who knows? The incident got covered up. Ocean was found 4 years ago in his locked home, and the police covered it up. Another man from around here burned to death 3 years ago, and the police covered it up. 3 strikes and you're out. Only a sucker would keep betting on those odds. The government is corrupt. Cops to discover the earth. This terribly wrongfully arrested people that you have to acquit recently. Not due to better lawyers, I'll tell you that. Damn. Alright. Based. I'll hand this case over to them. They just mess it up and then cover their tracks. I see. That does seem to be quite a strong stance. Let it be noted in the record that I don't necessarily agree with its sentiment. Now, a brief word about the legality of this process. There's no strict requirement to hold a trial in an actual courtroom. It is quite common for depositions to take place when required. Sometimes a witness simply can't be moved, and an affidavit wouldn't suffice. I hear court proceedings are even sometimes held on computers these days. As such, this court is acknowledged as legal. However, this means all relevant laws do actually apply. I won't stand for a kangaroo court. No worries, that's the whole point. I want the misdeeds of this murderer on official records. An actual courtroom. This is the closest I've been to one. It's an unexpected amount of pressure, but I have to handle it. Fortunately, the auction room is conveniently courtroom shaped. I'll be borrowing this gavel for the time being. Now let me ask you, Miss Holden, who'll be representing your side? You will have to do it yourself. I doubt any lawyers are conveniently present. As a matter of fact, I am prepared for this showdown. My lawyer is very much present. Well, I'll be. I always find a way to show up. Wasn't ready for facing an actual lawyer. Yes, he's bordering on uncanny levels of preparedness. Who is his representative, then? Why, the best anyone could be blessed with. Hold the hell up. That voice. You're... Oh. Indeed, poor little Aurelia. It's me. Victoria? Oh, hell no. You two are familiar. It's not surprising. I have nothing more important than remembering me. I leave an impression in any circles I choose to indulge in. I once became mildly curious about a little group she was a part of. Luckily, even their combined IQ failed to stimulate my intellect. Victoria goddamn Preston. The only former queen of crime. So full of herself, we just thought it was parody at first. To our horrors, it was much worse than that. I'll give you one thing. Your timing couldn't have been worse. As Wittgenstein once put it, we are not here to enjoy ourselves. By we must admit everyone below a certain threshold of intelligence. I could have hardly faulted him for the misjudgment, as I hadn't been born yet. Yet I must fault you. Disrespecting me, well, it speaks volumes about your wisdom. I get you're mad or something. But can you please vent in a place where I can ignore you? I wouldn't be mad. Such emotions don't enter great minds. I'm being generous by teaching you a lesson. You mean how you taught your own servants a lesson? Actions have consequences. If you're no genius, it's not always easy to realize the fact. Damn, the irony levels are off the charts already. It's nice that you're acquainted, but... Miss Preston, you're the legal representative of Miss Holden. Yes, old man. I'm willing to state it twice for you. Reminder that the correct way to address a judge is your honor. Such an illogical custom. Honor regardless of mine. Fret not. It's never too late to become reasonable and wise. Anyway, do you have the qualifications to be Miss Holden's legal representative? Seriously? You must be jesting. I'm a genius. My qualifications are given. And there you have it. Thorough. But what I'm trying to ask is, are you really a lawyer? You need to be a lawyer to represent someone in court. I think that's a good thing that's not happening then. Ooh. I really must take care about people like you. They always unwittingly try to drag you down to their level. Very well then. I will allow myself a humble demonstration. Badge. present to you, Miss Check and Mate. Ah, yes, I don't recognize that anywhere. What? That ought to be fake! I expected disbelief of those trapped in delusions. Except to all you want, I'd never stoop to your level. No way! You never passed the bar. Must be a trick here. Your parents probably bought off the chief prosecutor. But that's just my hunch. Lilian, kept you waiting, huh? Want to get together? Don't worry, I brought the goods. I wondered what I'd be facing. I was worried I'd be facing only a single brain cell wolf. Now I'm even more worried because I'm still only counting one. Ooh. We'll share the brain cell. Moving on to the defendant, Miss Chase. Didn't also somehow arrange a lawyer. Is it that lady at the stand? Do I look like a lawyer to you? Frankly, regarding who is a lawyer and who isn't, I found it quite impossible to tell over the years. Well, there you have it. This inconsequential sidekick is as much a lawyer as she is a detective. The defendant will have no choice but to represent herself. That's not how it works, Miss Preston. The defendant has the right to a lawyer. If the unique circumstances of this trial make that impossible, then it cannot proceed. Well, you needn't worry, because I will be correct. Aurelia does not possess the faculties to know when she has lost. What's moved? It's painfully trivial to predict that she will waive that right and represent herself. Miss Chase, we require your answer. Again, if you demand an attorney, this trial will have to be cancelled. Option to walk away, huh? The trial is going to happen eventually. Both sides would get a lot more time to prepare if it happened later. Of course, getting a proper lawyer would be the same option. Though he's thinking about it, my choice is clear. I'm leaving. Would that be a nice thing to say right now? Leash of choice is pretty good. Unfortunately, someone forced my hand. Normally, I'd love to have a lawyer. I can hardly pass up on this opportunity. I mean, facing Victoria Preston in court. That's a free win, even without a lawyer. I don't mind taking it. I'll represent myself. Okay, I'm surprised everyone's so eager to do this. We will proceed, then. Perfect statement, Miss Preston. Unfortunately, I will hardly need to say much. It doesn't take a genius to realize who is guilty here. Poor Aurelia was caught red-handed at the scene. The evidence overwhelmingly points at her shooting Mrs. Holden. The crime scene, in this case, is the room down the hallway behind me. A room that is clearly off limits, but that didn't stop her. The victim follows shortly after. Everyone present here saw all this happening. And shortly after, we all heard the gunshot, the subtle. Need I even waste any more of my Need I even waste more of my precious breath? The case is trivial. Oh, they saw the manager. I'm pretty sure that one went in that hallway, at least. Close that hallway. I even saw me. Yeah, obvious. Murder is obvious. Order. Order. Must admit it was too big of a crowd for me to recall such things. Regardless, it does sound like a compelling case. We do, however, need to keep in mind that this is not a criminal trial. It is my understanding that you will file a wrongful death claim. For the claim to be valid, you need to show there were financial damages. Even I couldn't think of anything more mundane to show. Mrs. Holden was in the middle of managing an auction. The arrangement was that she would earn a commission rate on each sold piece. Due to this legal interference, the rest of the auction evidently has to be cancelled. This by itself was a gigantic loss. I have also been informed that Mrs. Holden had several house sales lined up. These will now all fall through or be carried out by another agent. At any rate, Mrs. Holden won't be seeing any of that money. We therefore sue the defendant for $1 million. Personally, I think that's still too low. $1 million? There's no way for you to pay that. I have to live on the streets. No perfect evidence will likely be used in the criminal trial. So don't worry, you'll be in prison, not the streets. Can I say something? Naturally not. What is it? How many hours has it been since the crime? The answer is just a couple. Pretty debatable whether due diligence was done at all.
Objection!
I hope for you this is just a hearing problem. My case leaves absolutely no room for doubt whatsoever. Do you really believe that? Is it that you simply don't actually care? Didn't they teach you a lawyer mustn't lie? Your Honor. Yes. Defendant would like to file a countersuit. Oh! Order! Wish to do what? It's blatant that this whole lawsuit is rushed. Instead of waiting for the facts, they literally forced this trial to happen. It's obviously a completely frivolous lawsuit. We demand that the plaintiff and her lawyer get punished. Well, I'll be. Is this true, Miss Chase? I guess Lilian must have found something good if she's doing this. Yeah. I'm tired of hearing these baseless accusations. So be it then. The court acknowledges the countersuit. But the plaintiff's claims turn out to be entirely unfounded. She may have to compensate the defendant. As for her lawyer, she would like to be stripped of her badge. Whoa! Music to my ears. Seems I've been way too generous. There are 0 brain cells between the two of you. Doubling down on a hopeless game. It's so terrible, it's almost amusing. Very well. The plaintiff may call their first witness. Witnesses! As if that would be necessary. No need to even bother when the evidence by itself allows for no alternative. Very well. I call myself as a witness. What? You can't do that! How sad. Your mind is incapable of even conceiving the possibility. Like a low chess player that doesn't even know en passant. Just watch and learn. Oh boy. Let me show you the reasoning of a genius. No need for an intellectual ronda. This mystery has already been fully solved. Oh boy. Facts and logic. Oh boy. After a single gunshot was heard, people immediately rushed to the source. The source was a locked room. The only key was inside, so the door had to be broken down. Inside, we found a gunshot victim and the defendant, gun in hand. The door is the only viable entrance and exit to the room. Therefore, nobody else could have committed this crime. I suppose the basic facts seem convincing on their own. You can't be serious. Feel free to provide your own testimony, Miss Chase. Just what were you doing in a locked room with a dead body? Gun in hand at that. Yeah, well. You better not claim that you merely picked it up. That would be quite cliché. We already know that's your gun. But just what happened in that room, huh? I plead the fifth. Of course you would. If it exists to stop people like you from saying really stupid things. Oh, come on. She won't even explain herself. Wrap this trial up already. Order. It's the defendant's right not to testify. I'd like to remind you that exercising this right can't be taken as proof. But that is may, the facts remain the facts. Would you like to address the argument, Miss Chase? I would definitely like to do that, yes. This will be my first court battle. Lots of pressure for first time. I hope I'm doing this right. Time for the Lilian to teach us how to cross-examine. Here we go again. Are you sweating yet? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. Somehow I feel like I'm losing the argument. Seeming confident can make a huge difference in court. The same with detectives. They sound like they know what they're talking about. People will accept their reasoning, even if there are holes. So, do you think there's a hole to poke here? I mean, isn't this just pretty much what happens? It probably is, but Victoria is still a prisoner to her pride, it seems. She's treating this like a mystery she can solve in one shot. trying to go for those style points will just backfire in court. Because in court, evidence is everything. Even the best argument needs to be actually backed up by the court record. Speaking of the court record, you said earlier that you got the goods. Of course. Here you go. Lilian's evidence has been added to the court record. Lilian, what is this? It's all the evidence of the scene. I mean, maybe, but what are these descriptions? There's barely any actual details there. The court record looks like a bunch of memes. It's better this way. You won't need them. A locked room mystery. That can't be good. Faint blood trail between the study and the main hall. Sure, yeah. Oh, okay. TV looks older than me. Bottom text. What possible reason could there be for you to hide these? Remember the curious incident with the dog? I don't recall ever meeting any dogs, no. It's a famous Holmes story, silly. The dog did not bark during the night. What does it mean? It's a good dog? It knew the person invading. Okay, well the answer is that the culprit wasn't a stranger. Because if it was a stranger, the dog would have barked. Was that Hound of the Baskervilles? Dogs bark to welcome their owners home. Don't overcomplicate things now. The point is, the challenge. In the story, you learned that the dog does not bark at strangers. What if we could figure out that part just by hearing the dog but didn't bark? It'd be extra stylish. This evidence gives you the same opportunity. But this makes no sense. Okay, the real point is, remember how we chased that thief once? He dropped his disguise and kept running. Well, you stopped at the dumpster and overanalyzed it. We're trying to figure out whether it was a double bluff. Spare disguise. But in the end, you just wasted time and let him get away. Point being, good at big picture stuff. Little details like overly long descriptions are just derailment. Detriment. You leave the analysis to me. It's better for you to focus on the big picture content. You just say you didn't actually check them properly. It's not a lie. You're overanalyzing it. Overanalyzing is a real thing. Well, I'll figure out a way to work with these. It's better than nothing. It's everything. You'll see. No, hold it. So you heard a gunshot. Or did you? Could have just sounded like one. Oh, my bad for assuming you were capable of this deduction. Everyone in the room heard only that single shot. Walls on this floor aren't particularly soundproof. Meaning any shot on this floor would have been impossible to conceal. Everyone here also saw that the victim was unharmed before. Obviously. Not like she held the auction with a pierced heart. But the one shot we heard must have been the one that killed her. TBD. Makes an uncanny amount of sense. As for the source... Was the door actually locked, though? Me and Diana are just fine. Will you stop interrupting me with these low IQ equations? Someone naturally locked it after you entered. The victim. Mrs. Holden's death was instant, so if she locked it, that leaves you as the only one who could have shot her. A single look at the door will also... A single look at the door will also tell you that it had in fact been locked. So annoyingly binding, this locked room logic. Aren't we forgetting something here, though? Inside we found a gunshot victim and the defendant gun in hand. So I held a gun. What's that prove? I could have just been, reacting to the gunshot. I don't really know what went down before you saw the scene. And amazing how you still don't want to admit to anything. Regarding your first idea, if that's impossible, the guard can confirm if it was needed. To confirm it if needed, nobody else brought in a gun. So the gunshot must have come from yours. But what if it was self-defense? Someone of low intelligence might ask that. Can a burglar claim self-defense? People have to prove it was self-defense if they shoot an intruder. Naturally not. On their own property, the owner is presumed to have had fear for their life. It's called the castle doctrine. The burden of proof would be on the defendant. Be sure it wasn't self-defense on the victim's part. It's the reason I'm not saying anything. The gun also just happened to be missing one bullet. It's actually insulting how trivial this is. Oh, really now? What about the windows? They don't even open, you Philistine. Oh, damn. What about... aren't there any vents? Nobody would fit in through that vent. The gaps in it also would be too small for a bullet before you suggest something stupid. Well, there's a secret passage. Throwing knocks out the window, and the nerve. This was originally conceived for the Broken Commandments competition. So, it's highly possible that she might throw knocks out the window. Won't even dignify that with a response. You can prove there was a secret passage by all means. Yeah, I doubt I have the info there to do anything like that. There could have been someone else in the room. Who says you didn't miss someone? That's the kind of solution you'd seek. The most brain-dead idea there is. Someone was hiding behind the door. Into the room. You know there's barely any furniture. No beds or large empty cabinets to hide in. The door's so close to the corner. There's no room to hide behind. Are you saying we missed something staying in plain view? The light in that room is pretty dim, right? It's not dim enough to miss a person unless you are blind. My God, really partaking in this conversation endangers my neuron count. Oh, hi. This is more impressive than I thought. She'll shoot down anything I try to argue. Victoria's trying to wrap this up in one shot. She wants to get full credit by having her reasoning prevail on its own. It's the approach a great detective might take. Fortunately, that doesn't work in court. It seems to be working so far. Oh, I just can't figure out how to argue yet. There's an objective in court called assumes facts not evidence. You show something she claims is not reflected in the court record. You'll force her to present proof, which might stall things at least. A good start when I have to immediately stall on technicalities. Well, more info is what you'd wanted, right? I'll start looking for facts that aren't backed by the court record. Then. Well, this is a helpful hint. Let's read this again. If she locked it, it means he was the only one who could have shot her. So based on Lilian's comment, I think we have to present the door. Doesn't quite add up, no? I'm afraid I don't really see your point here. Oh, well, I'm still new to this. My bad. Miss Chase, it was you who rejected a proper lawyer. You have to bear the consequences. Is this going wonderfully? Just trying to figure out what I'm doing. It's actually a solid hint. Assumes facts that aren't in evidence. So... ironically, we have this here. Nothing else. We didn't find the key. Essentially, we're being pedantic in order to force her to reveal more information. We have to take this at face value, huh? Let's hope Lilian's instincts are still what they used to be. Just a second there, Victoria. Your statement runs into a serious contradiction. With this? It's nothing. Excuse me if I'm wrong, Miss Chase. You haven't presented anything. Yes. As you can see, there is absolutely nothing here. But the fact of the matter is, there should be. Victoria's talking about the key to the room being found. No such key has been shown to the court.
Seriously?
Oh, that's cool. You think your intellectual inconsequence would be that severe? I could have won this trial without even showing up, it appears. Like Schopenhauer once said, people really do take the limits of their vision from the limits of the world. And thus you jump to the insulting conclusion that I am making things up. Well, let me help broaden your horizons. Hopefully this humbling experience will force your mind to expand. What is this, Miss Preston? You wanted a key. This is it. It was found tucked away in the victim's inside pocket. We will confirm that only her prints are on it. Alright. That's the end of your helpless flailing, Emma, in the presence of greater minds. Man, arrest already. It's just stalled at this point. Order. This is a courtroom at the moment. The court accepts the evidence. That's satisfied, I suppose nothing has fundamentally changed. Would you like to amend your argument, Miss Preston? Or would I amend my reasoning over such inane non-arguments? Can't improve what's already perfect. I'll allow myself to bring this to an end. Hello, Lilian. So much for nothing else relevant at the scene. Nothing else has been removed from the court record. Right. I stand by what I said, actually. She literally just presented something you missed. You didn't get to examine the body. How was I supposed to check the victim's pocket? That troublesome woman kept it from me. The important thing is I don't think I can get out of this. Don't give up after a single shot. You have to be a bit more persistent as a lawyer. We should take another look at what the evidence says it doesn't say. See, if anyone would gloss over the details, it's her. I'll have to try, I guess. Notice that your interjections have rather, soft. I mean, you're not really interrupting her to get a word in. I figured it was better to keep her talking. You're too used to interviews. In court, you have to be a little more forceful. Oh, I like this. Look at how her ridiculous confidence is working for her. Stop trying to play it too cool. You won't get your points in. I'm skeptical where you got that advice from, but I'll try to keep it in mind. Time shall resume then. Let's finish this farce. Oh, really now? What? Okay, we're not quite there yet. I could present the blood trail here. I feel like we need to use the key to prove something. We'll see what happens when I present the key here. Nothing happens. present the blood trail. This is just like a, this is the testimony where we present enough facts to advance the plot. Okay, not that. Just for the meme. Okay, no. You can present a knife here. Let's actually look at this. Melanie Holden, inconclusive. How you'd like to be the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. No other major wounds. Looks like they close to instant. 4th, 1800, 1900. Dr. Celis Hellinger. That's a neat touch. No other major wounds. Present the key here again. Let's revisit this point one more time. My God, is your brain at full capacity? You can't even remember that we've been over this. Sure, I got a key. But this doesn't mean your point got proven at all. What you claim is that this is the only key to the room. Yet all I see here is simply a key.
Seriously?
You rely on such pedantry. Plato was right. Those that can only see shadows in a cave think that's all there is. My goodness, of course this is the key to the room. Basic logic tells us as much. Oh, she is a fantastic prosecutor. Oh, shoot. You? Only you and the victim have any opportunity to lock the room.
Objection!
Lilian? Oh, she did it. Now I've done it. All eyes on me. Won't deny it, shouting that might have boosted my confidence. Lilian was right. If you want an argument to stick, this is needed. It's time to stop with the softballs and get serious. Oh, Miss Bridget, this is the court of law. Don't care for your logic. Where's the evidence? Locked room 101. Always check the keys. Would you even verify this key actually corresponds to the door? Well, this is utterly pointless. We'll be here for hours at this rate. Because you're not capable of understanding what my reasoning is right. Oh, enough of this. The crime scene is right there. This would only take a minute. You just had to rush this lawsuit, so you didn't even do that. Objection sustained. As it stands, this key does not establish what you say, Miss Preston. Are we seriously wasting our time with this? This isn't a kangaroo court. There is no reason not to take the time to establish verifiable facts. Since this should only take a moment, I won't adjourn court. Please verify if this key fits the door. Hello. We have verified the facts, Your Honor. Who is this again? Well, go ahead and tell us what we all know. This key is objectively not the key to the crime scene. Oh! Alright. That puts a twist on things. Because the original thought was that she Melanie locked the door and made the kill. Aurelia.
Seriously?
This isn't right. It has to be the key. Reality disagrees with you, Miss Princeton. Well. Can't say I expected this result, but there's no way I'll let it slip. Seems like assumptions are a terrible trap. Turns out, you can't use this locked room against me at all.
Objection!
The key had to have been in the room. I know you just swapped it out for a fake. And when would I have done this? I was searched and detained right away. I could have hidden the real key somewhere in the room before that. Those are rooms to throw us off later. This isn't a fun little reasoning game, Miss Princeton. This is a trial. What is your logic backed by? You found the real key inside the room. Present it. Did be said it was hidden really well won't cut it. So what? How does any of this overturn my logic? Your entire case so far is based on the locked room. It wasn't locked from the inside. If it wasn't locked from the inside, it must have been done from outside. It's entirely possible someone shot the victim from the door. They then simply locked it and walked away. Nothing presented so far disproves this scenario. What about your gun? She was definitely killed with it. Definitely is a strong word. However, this evidence shows it could be in another gun. Autopsy? Caliber matches? Yeah! The autopsy notes that the bullet had the same caliber as my gun. Nothing here establishes that it was definitely my gun that fired. But nobody else brought a gun, though. We know this. I don't recall you submitting that into proper evidence. It is very much still up for scrutiny. But if a knife was among the auction items, there could have been a gun as well. Just face it. Your reasoning in your case is full of holes. Wait, is she actually losing? This is the easiest case ever, though. This is just straight up throwing. I take over. Could probably do a better job. I bet that's Winston Payne. Can I take over? Probably would do a better job. Wow, you just lost your very first argument. On easy mode at that. Talk about a negative IQ move, Victoria. This isn't real. I will only ask this once, Miss Preston. Do you have a proper case prepared beyond this or not? Because as it stands, your strategy to accuse the defendant with locked room logic seems to have lost its basis. 20 minutes. I demand 20 minutes. Here comes the last minute scramble. Yeah, this ought to be rich. Very well. I'll give you this one chance. We'll take a 20-minute break. The plaintiff is expected to present a proper case once we resume. Court is adjourned. Alright, side room. I survived for now. Damn! You really messed her up at the end. Little twist with the key surprised everyone. Guess that's the reason you have to poke every little thing. Her pride made her delusionally confident in her reasoning. Unfortunately, Dad will keep working to our advantage. People like her can get really dangerous when humiliated. Do we really need to be wary of her? Yeah, because now she's motivated. Now I'm motivated. Won't take her too long to remember the witnesses. Some of the people they said they saw you. Not only going into the hallway, some directly mentioned the door. If she finds eyewitnesses that directly watch the door, well, say goodbye to your theory. That's not unlikely, but, well, this key stuff actually bothers me. Sure, it's helped me out, but what is going on? Does this mean someone other than the victim locked the door? What reason would anyone have to do that? In secret, even. Doesn't make much sense. Think there's some bigger conspiracy going on here? What makes you say that? No, it doesn't make much sense, but there's some strange coincidences in this case. Earlier, before I went back to the main hall, I was so free to check out what appeared to be the victim's office. Well, now you really can't blame me for trespassing. In there, I found several newspapers stacked on her desk. The one on top of the pile was this one. A newspaper. Did something relevant happen? This newspaper is 4 years old. It was on top of even the more recent ones. If the real estate family, if the Holdens are involved in that case from 4 years ago, take a look at the front page. War veteran exposed as deadly hitman. Hold up. This is... War veteran exposed as deadly hitman. It was quite the big article back then. Renowned doctor of psychology, respected war veteran. He'd been dead for a year. It was considered a tragic death. Then it was revealed that he was part of a certain organization. An organization of hitmen for hire. They called themselves the JP Corporation. It's even revealed that he had conducted cruel human experiments as a part of that. Oh, wow. That's how his codename within the organization became Reaper. Of course, this article is about Dr. Lee, previous occupant of this tower. I don't need to tell you that, do I? No, of course not. I'm the one who wrote this article, after all. Well, well. Let's look at this article here a second. TV listings on back. Full article on this page. Oh, that smile, though. That smile is not friendly. There's a shadow in the back. Spider Masso 8. Your home is my home. Resurrection of Spider-Gwen. Peter Porker's life takes a turn after and that she is pregnant. Bragante. Oh boy. Kids Only Luna Park finally opens. Oh, that's the amusement park. Sam Cardenio claims he ate rats to survive. If you're watching this, Blackrune, I need to know the contents of this Spider Masso 8 article before it got cropped. Because there's very clearly actual sentences going on here. If you wrote an actual paragraph to describe that movie, I need to see it. I need this in my life. Please and thank you. That article was pretty much my claim to fame. It's how I earned this special press pass. And the victim in this case just happened to have kept a copy. Was she only looking it up for the auction? Yeah, the way she didn't hesitate for a second when I drew my gun. Could it be something I miss here? Is she or else she's related? Or else she's drawn correlation between Aurelia exposing him and the other crimes that happened, which she is a related victim of, perhaps. The question is, do I even want to find out? Oh, we're gonna circle back to the questionable truth. End of Act 1. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Oh. There's some variables that carry over here, so. Oh, hello. That's a surprise. I'm looking at a ghost. Perhaps we are. This gives me a chance to drop a save. I'm back out for now. Until next time. Until then.